guys. If everybody's ready to get started. First of all, good morning. Appreciate you guys being here. My name is Jared Hogan. I'm a volunteer and on the board at Rebuild Joplin, and really glad that you guys are here today. A couple of things. First, if any of the media or anybody on their smartphones happens to capture something ridiculously hilarious and wins $10,000 on America's Funniest Videos, don't forget that Rebuild Joplin continues to need funds to raise money to get people back home after a tornado. So we reserve the right for something ridiculously hilarious to happen today, right? Nobody's going to get hurt. Nobody's going to get hurt, but it might be fun.
Oh, so you're not going to let me have a sledgehammer?
Yeah, you've been disqualified already. The group voted when you weren't here, and you're not allowed to swing. So, real quick, brief history about Rebuild Joplin. We started a couple days after the storm as a resource linkage website, trying to connect volunteers and resources outside of the community with folks in the community that needed help. A few months later, we partnered with the St. Bernard Project in New Orleans to use their model, which is corporate efficiency and volunteerism, to be able to get folks home from our storm as quick as possible. Side note from that, the St. Bernard Project in New Orleans celebrated 500 homes that they've completed last week. So strong partnership. They've done some phenomenal things in the community of New Orleans. And in the last 8 years, they've been recovering from Katrina. And not just doing that, there's a lot of work there, but they decided to take the time to share with us the lessons that they learned. So we appreciate them. Rebuild Joplin, in the last year and a half, partnered with St. Bernard Project, has completed 83 homes and returned 83 families back to their home after the tornado. We do that by the model given to us by St. Bernard Project, but more importantly, we do it by groups coming together and giving of the resources that they have to help us make sure that we get folks back home. So we always say it takes two things to rebuild homes and to get folks back in their home after a tornado. It takes volunteers and it takes finances. Today, in the last year and a half, a lot of you have been here to celebrate with us. We've done some groundbreaking ceremonies for new construction. We've done some ribbon cuttings, a lot of ribbon cuttings, where we stand on the porch, we hug a family, and say, welcome home. Today, we're going to try something new and hope nobody gets hurt. Instead of a groundbreaking, we're going to do a house-breaking ceremony. So, and it's the first step in getting this storm-damaged home that you see behind us, that the gentleman has been living in since the storm. And get this house out of the way, and let's replace it with the resources and volunteers that are being provided to help make sure this gentleman gets back into a safe home after the storm. So this is a great story about the faith-based community in Joplin has been strong for years and done a phenomenal job after the storm. And this is a continuation of that. And today we're excited to talk about a partnership with a couple of different denominations coming together to raise both the funds. That dog's like, I'm getting out of here before the sledgehammers get picked up. A couple of denominations and multiple churches coming together to continue the work that they've done in this community in the last couple of years by providing both financial resources to this effort and volunteers. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Mrs. Kathy Wilson, and if you'll please come forward and tell us a little bit about the project.
Well, the United Church of Christ and the Christian Church Disciples of Christ, since the tornado in Joplin, have come together and have worked in partnership, providing resources, financial resources, as well as human resources in regard to volunteers that are continuing to come to the Joplin area and help with the rebuilding. And as the last part of this, some of the funding that has come through the Week of Compassion, which is part of the Disciples of Christ, donations that come in, and the One Great Hour of sharing with the United Church of Christ, we have continued to pool those resources, and just excited that we can help provide part of the foundational money that's necessary for this family to move back into their home. And really appreciate the support from all of the congregations across the United States and Canada of both denominations who have just made this reality, or have made this a reality through their love and desire to continue to give to others, that life might be better.
Thank you very much. Big round of applause. Really One of the things that we talk about at Rebuild Joplin is that immediately after the storm, one of the most amazing, those of you from the Joplin area and in the community in the last couple of years, you've realized how blessed we are to be a recipient of so much volunteer love and appreciation. And early on, it was amazing to see hundreds of thousands of folks come from across the country to give to this community. Today is 838 days since the Joplin tornado. 838 days later, there are still the faith-based community of churches coming together saying that we've done a great job together in the past. We've got a lot of families home, but the work is not yet done. So thank you guys for recognizing that the need is not quite as visible and apparent. You kind of have to look still. You drive down Rangeline, you see all shiny new buildings, and it's a great facade of success and recovery. But behind those are families that still need a little bit of help. So thank you guys very much. Appreciate you being here, and again, let's hope nobody gets hurt during this. But at this time, I would like to introduce to you Sharon. Sharon is a local celebrity with Rebuild Joplin, was on the front page of the Globe a couple days ago. And Sharon and her team are doing a great job of reaching out and making sure that we connect with folks like Sid that lives here and letting them know that there's still groups like the churches that would really love to help get them home. So at this time, please help me welcome Sharon. She's going to tell you a little bit about the client.
Thanks, guys. Client service coordinator here for Sid. I'm just wanting to represent him and say a couple of words. First of all, Sid, on the day of the tornado, he wrote it out in the house right next door. The very first thing he did when he found out was run to all of his neighbors and say, hey, this is happening, take cover. So the first thing on his mind was his people in his town, his fellow citizens, his neighbors, people he cared about. So we're glad that we can jump in, and give that care back to him, and because of you guys, thank you so much. So on behalf of Sid, on behalf of Rebuild Joplin, thank all you guys for your support. Thank you guys for your help. Really look forward to this.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, the moment we've all been waiting for, get the cameras rolling, and everybody that has the courage to pick up a sledgehammer and a hard hat, please put on your safety glasses, and you're not allowed to step over here to safe distance. Great. But if we'll do this, we'll come over here and find a safe place, and on the count of three, we'll say something like, break that house. All right. Andy, Christopher, you guys want to grab a couple? Feels right. You guys go first. You guys have matching. There are safety glasses.
I'll swing a hammer for you. How's that?
So here's some safety glasses.
Assuming they'll let me pick one up.
Yeah. No, Ben, you want to get up there? You dress like that, you got to be in the picture.
And it's just a coincidence you dressed
I
like
just want
that.
you to curb your enthusiasm a little bit. I know how exciting this moment's been. Don't take me anything else. Okay, if anybody in the audience sees anything that's about to happen unsafe, please point it out now.
Ben's up there. That's not safe.
Well, everybody in the crowd is super smart. Everybody backed up like 3 steps. Okay, if you guys will help me, let's do a countdown from 3, 2, 1, break that house. Ready, set, 3, 2, 1. Break that house! There you go. Okay, guys, that's good. Woo! Another round of applause for no injury.
I may drop it on my foot.
I want to see more.
So
That window.
concludes our ceremony.
Man.
What we would love is for you guys to keep an eye on this project. We're going to get some heavy machinery to do the rest of the work. But please, if you want to volunteer on this house, reach out, sign up and volunteer. Keep an eye on it, and hopefully we'll get to come back here in a few months. We'll have hot chocolate. Think about that for a minute. Come back in a few months, we'll have hot chocolate and celebrate another house warming. So thank you guys for coming, and have a great rest of the week.